The Abraham Initiatives was founded thanks to a strong partnership and bold vision. For 30 years, we have worked to promote equality between Jewish and Palestinian Arab citizens of Israel in order to build a prosperous and just society. Meet Alan Slifka and Professor Eugene Weiner, two American Jews and true friends. Slifka was an eternal optimist who struggled to put the world to rights. Weiner was a civil rights activist in the US and a close friend of Dr. Martin Luther King. During a visit to Israel, Slifka realized that Jews and Arabs lived mainly in separate areas with very little contact. He and Eugene began to study the relations between the two communities. Their conclusion was that improving Jewish-Arab relations was vital for the future of Israeli society. This task needed focused efforts, and accordingly in 1989 they founded the Abraham Fund. Typical of his thorough approach, Slifka began by mapping the field, producing a survey of 350 organizations and projects. In 1992, the Abraham Fund published a guide to organizations and activities in Israel that promote Jewish-Arab coexistence. In the early days, the Abraham Fund was a small professional organization based in Jerusalem. Faisal Azaize and Hang Havasi started things off and were joined by the first director Rachel Shilo, together with Batya Kalush, Carl Perkel, Aviva Barazani, and Suzy Cohen. The team's task was to identify initiatives with potential and help them with planning and funding. Thanks to hundreds of grants to organizations and projects in diverse fields, the foundation sparked a revolution. It sowed seeds and blossomed and matured into dozens of organizations dedicated to working to promote partnership and equality between Arabs and Jews, helping them to consolidate and persevere. The support for all these organizations and projects totaled over $20 million. In October 2000, with the outbreak of the Second Intifada, the ground in Israel shook. During 10 days of demonstrations and violent clashes, 13 Arab citizens were shot and killed by the Israel police. The events of October 2000 marked a turning point for the Abraham Fund. Under the leadership of Dan Patil, the organization began to plan and implement broad-based projects based on its recognition of the need for profound social change in the relations between the Jewish majority and the Arab minority. In 2002, the organization changed its name to the Abraham Fund Initiatives. The first projects were a direct response to the events of October 2000. The Tapestry in the Galil project aimed to rebuild the damaged connections between Jews and Arabs and upgrade them to create Jewish-Arab regional partnership in the heart of Galil. The project proved that partnerships that promote shared interests are both viable and effective. Another particularly sensitive project tackled the relations between Arab society and the police. The goal was to ensure that Arab citizens enjoy equal policing services. This project aimed to empower Arab society and encourage it to demand its rights. Activities included training for officers and police on the ground on a previously unknown subject: fair policing in a divided society. The focus was on building trust between the two sides.
המשטרה החלה לשלב בקורס הקצינים שלה שיעורים ללימוד השפה הערבית והתרבות הערבית. את השיעורים מלמדים אנשיה של קרן אברהם המקדמת הידברות בין יהודים לערבים.
Over this decade, the Abraham Fund initiatives strengthened its presence in the field of policy advocacy, modeling its ideas in the field and seeking to convince others through actions. An example for this approach was a project called Ya Salam, Language as a Cultural Bridge. The project sought to prove that the long-lasting failure of Arabic teaching for Jews was not inevitable. The Abraham Fund was convinced that Arabic could be taught properly, thereby reflecting and enhancing the status of Israel's Arab citizens.
يعطيك العافية زي شير كوخ لما بدكم تحكوا مع حدا.
We implemented the project in 200 schools over the decade, and for the first time Arab teachers began to work in Jewish schools. The Ministry of Education adopted the project in 2016. The Sharikat Chaya, Living Partnership Project, is based on a similar logic. It seeks to provide vocational training for Arab women and to integrate them in the job market. The project aims to combat the perception that mental and cultural barriers prevent Arab women from going out to work and escaping poverty. Again, we achieved our goal. We changed attitudes through work on the ground, modeling a practical idea for change. The government adopted the project, changing discourse on this subject. At the Herzliya conference in 2007, we presented a study showing that the Israeli economy loses around 30 to 40 billion shekels a year due to the failure to integrate Arab citizens. This was a historic turning point. Ehud Olmert, the Prime Minister at the time, and his Director General Ra'anan Dinur announced the establishment of an authority dedicated to the economic development of Arab society and to narrowing the gaps between the two populations. In order to promote informed policy based on reliable information, the fund published a comprehensive information file on Arab society in 2009 and 2013.
שלום לכם, ערב טוב, גמר חתימה טובה. זה היה יום כיפור טעון במיוחד בעכו.
Following the riots in Akko on Yom Kippur in 2008, we published the document Mixed Cities, the Face of Israel's Tomorrow. The document proposed policies for managing mixed Jewish-Arab cities. For several years, Yom Kippur and Eid al-Adha fell close together. To prevent clashes in mixed cities around these dates, a publicity campaign was launched, and conferences were held for Arab and Jewish public representative and clergy.
השנה שוב ייפגשו יום הכיפורים וחג הקורבן.
תמאמה في نفس اليوم.
ואנחנו נצום, נשבות ונכבד את היום.
ونحن سنأكل ونحتفل ونحترم هذا اليوم.
We also work to raise awareness of the Arab festivals and include them in the general Israeli calendar. To this end, we organized mass iftar events during Ramadan each year.
קרן אברהם מציינת היום פעם נוספת את חודש הרמדאן וארוחת הפסקת הצום.
During our third decade, we worked on issues concerning majority-minority relations. The organization grew rapidly and was led jointly by chairs Orni Petrushka and Bashar Fahum Jayusi in Israel, who worked with Howard Sohn in the United States. the activities on the ground were led by Amnon Be'eri Suliziano in cooperation with Muhammad Darawshe and later Dr. Tabet Abu-Ras, together with Ami Nachshon in the United States. In 2019, Howard Sohn stepped down from his position and Jeffrey Lewis was elected the new co-chair of the International Board of Directors. In 2008, the UK Friends of the Abraham Fund Initiatives was established. In 2011, our founder Alan Slifka passed away. He is commemorated in the Fund's headquarters, which began to operate in the mixed city of Lod.
I am so proud to be chairman of such a wonderful organization. We have accomplished so much in the past few years, despite the economy and the difficult political climate in Israel.
The Slifka Forum was established in the same year, encouraging discussion of key issues in majority-minority relations. An important objective was to formulate a consensual model for volunteering by young people in Arab communities. Together with the Hirakuna Association and in a joint initiative with Ajik, we proved that giving to the community is a core value for Arab society and its leaders. Thanks to our active involvement in the discussions of the Plessner Committee at the Knesset in 2012, we managed to thwart the plans to impose obligatory service for Arab citizens. During this period, we emphasized the close connection between the conflict and the occupation in the territories and Jewish-Arab relations inside Israel. This connection shows that a Palestinian state is also needed to permit the full integration of the Arab minority in Israel. We also highlighted the need for the minority to participate in national life and be represented in all fields of society, as well as the need to resolve the status of the Bedouin villages in the Negev and resolve issues concerning land allocation and planning. Fair representation of Arabs in the media was defined as a key objective, and we continue to offer in-service training and study tours for journalists to this end. The Academia as a Joint Space project sought to emphasize the need to facilitate the absorption of Arab students at universities and colleges. It aims to raise awareness in the academic institutes and to encourage an inclusive and sensitive approach to the needs of Arab students. During the election campaigns over the decade, we sought to encourage proper representation of Arab society in the Knesset, raise awareness of the right to vote, and encourage all parties to include in their manifestos a commitment to Arab-Jewish integration and equality. What lies ahead? Is Israeli society becoming more racist and polarized, or more egalitarian and tolerant? What will we do over the next 30 years, and where will we be when they end? In a reality of constant uncertainty, we will adhere to our basic values of equality and partnership between Arabs and Jews. We will continue to create, think, invent, and promote new ideas for shared life. We will continue to shape cities in Israel as joint and egalitarian spaces. We will make Arabic a widespread, legitimate spoken language and an integral part of Israel's linguistic and cultural reality. We will promote equal, accessible, and fair services for Arab citizens in all fields. We will continue to struggle on every platform to oppose discriminatory laws and racist practices. We will address the deep causes of neglect and violence, promote law and order, and advocate for fair and efficient policing, because Arabs in Israel are entitled to live in security. We will shape the academic institutions as hothouses of tolerance, promote proper political representation of the majority, and work to ensure fair media coverage. We will continue to show, model, and experiment because actions speak louder than words. We will prove that coexistence based on equality is the moral choice and the best option for everyone. We will maintain the Abraham Fund initiatives as a partnership of Jews and Arabs and a partnership between Israelis and friends around the world. We will continue together, dedicated staff members from every corner of Israel, our wonderful public board, and our partners in civil society, government ministries, academia, the media, and the Knesset. We will continue thanks to our friends and supporters who help us turn the dream of coexistence into reality, even when the road is tough and long. Thanks to this partnership, we will realize our dream. We will prosper here together in justice, equality, and peace.